Hello and welcome back to Qa'Rajh Team Racing Nitro-Fueled. We're done with the adventure mode, but there are still tracks left to show off. So, I've done a little counting and there are a total of 24 bonus tracks. So, sounds like 4 per episode, 6 episodes. The loading time after each race should be enough for me to give my thoughts and basically kind of review each track. So let's get right into it. The first accessible Slide Coliseum. Yes, and we will be racing on easy because it's easier for me to talk if I'm not focused on the actual race. Also, it's not so much about the race on the track, it's about how the track looks, feels, and plays. So let's get right into it. We'll just take a randomized character. You'll see that I will have Polar as my last played character. See what we get. That is Amy in Nitrous Oxide's hovercraft. Okay. Now you may have noticed that you have the option to have driving mode. That is essentially one that means that you can select which type of driver you are. If you select Classic, you'll get the standard driving style fitted to each character, as in the character means how you will be driving. There are slight differences. However, you can also just forego that and simply choose whatever driving style fits you better. So here we have Slide Coliseum, a completely flat, drift-friendly, fairly fast racing track. Ooh, and we got I'll get that on the next one. So that is a golden Wumpa. It gives you 200 Wumpas for catching up to it. At any point during the race. You can also hit it with bombs and or a power shield if you have one. But usually the easiest option is simply just to drive right into it. But it's pretty fast, so being able to slide and cutting corners is definitely a suggested trait here. And that is the trait of this one. There we go. Now it won't appear for the next couple of races because it only appears every... I don't know how often. Sometimes I seem to be getting them every 4 races at minimum, but sometimes it's been more. So yeah, not much to say about this track. It was in the original, obviously with an older design, but I like how it feels, and its inclusion definitely speaks to the more classic driving games, albeit with boosts, power-ups and jumps. So you see me crossing in across the grass here. If you do that with a well-timed jump, you can use them as the only jumps on this track, thus obtain a small speed boost from the jump. In the time trial, you need to do this jump in order to get some of the crates. So it's in no way a hard track. It's very easy, and I would say if you're looking for a track to start on, Slide Coliseum is definitely not the worst one. It's not too fast. There are a mixture of tight turns and some regular ones.
There's nothing like a little hard work.
Oh yes, there's a lot of bonuses. 300 151 for a single race. That's nice. Change level. You'll also be changing character because there is unlockables from racing a certain amount of races with each character. And I haven't unlocked them all yet because I have been pretty diligent in just selecting random. Alright, let's move on to Turbo Track. Turbo Track is a bit different to Slide Colosseum. It's the same feel to it, but here we have speed pads. Oh boy. Original Qa'Rajh. Oh boy. Alright, well. At least I only have to see the back of his face, so. I definitely think that compared to how the Qa'Rajh looked on PlayStation 1 in Crash Bash, they have not made him look good with newer graphics. And they even added him twice in this game. Neither of them are to my liking. So, Turbo Track, as the name suggests, has a lot of speed. It's the same kind of a flat track to get. But, and here there are no jumps. Instead, however, there are turbo pads. Lots of them. So you can take a short turn, but no turbo. Or a longer one that usually has a turbo. I'll try to show off shortcuts and such if I can find them. But in this one, there isn't any. A bit of hairpin turns. Never been particularly good at those. I suppose drifting helps, but again, it's not really my specialty. Okay, who else have we got in this race? We got Real Velo, Entropy, and Emperor Velo. So we got a troupe of definitely not computer contest winners. So, despite the many speed boosts to it, it's actually a fairly long track, and that's something you might take in mind, but it usually doesn't take long because, well, it's very fast. You'll also see how far I'm getting ahead of people. That is easy compared to the medium or normal of the adventure mode. And the fact that I'm not constantly barraged by missiles and rolling bombs definitely means that it's a faster race. Gift wrap Qa'Rajh. Still not pretty. Alright, so these were the tracks that were in the original game. So now we go to the tracks that have been added with the Nitro-Fueled remastering, essentially. There are also bonus tracks, but those have been added after the game was released. The game released with all the tracks from here on and down. So we will be taking Inferno Island and Jungle Boogie. Jungle Boogie is a very short track. Inferno Island is a simple track, but it definitely is longer than it looks, or at least on the map. Right, hopefully we can get something a little less eyesore. Big Gnome, well, it's a step up from Rillaroo, but not much. I'm actually glad I got that Golden Womba, because there are certain tracks where it's, at least for me with my lack of skill, it's harder to get that Golden Womba. And since it doesn't occur at every track, it's something that you don't want to miss once it's on the track. Let's just do a flyby tour. So that didn't say much, and unfortunately there isn't much to say about this track, honestly. As you can see, it's just a big ring with emphasis on big, and that's pretty much it. There is really not much else to say about it, other than how it feels, which I suppose is not bad. Not a whole lot of Wumpa crates, so we're gonna be running on low power for large. Those spiders are purely there for show. They don't do anything. So that's the main feature, that jump, and that's the whole track. So it doesn't take long, but it doesn't, unlike Crash Cove, it doesn't feel very, it's not a satisfying track to race on. It's kind of forgettable. Like, you have a very broad track. You don't even have any dangers. Here you have a little bit of slowness if you don't get out of the water, but that's it. There are no dangers to this track. So in that regard, it's kind of boring. It's not a bad track, but it's definitely not an interesting track either. Some might say that if it's not an interesting track, it's not a good track, but, well, in a racing game with 40 different tracks, some of them have to be a little less interesting than others. And any bonuses? Well, apart from the weekend bonus. Nope. Although the weekend bonus is nice too. Right, on to the last track of this video. Jungle Boogie is definitely, if you want a fast track, Jungle Boogie is the track for you. It is short, it is fast. Oh, Komodo Joe. Oh, that's Komodo Mo. Komodo Joe is the sleeker one. So yeah, I don't think that not being an interesting track is a bad thing. Though I will definitely say that Inferno Island is on the lower parts of what I consider as good tracks of this game. So some of the tracks have also been added with characters in mind. So it's sort of there, just like you have Coco Park, Crash Cove, and so on, so on, so on. Jungle Boogie is the home track of Qa'Rajh, as you may be able to tell from the monkey heads that dot this land. This one has a very easy to catch shortcut, and one that I should be able to take every single lap without any issue. There it is, you just have to jump a little bit to the left here. I don't think I've ever seen any AI take this path. Then again, I don't think the AI usually takes shortcuts. He's not on purpose. I think this is one of the shortest lap times there is. It's only around 35 seconds, which even Crash Cove can come up at around 40. Oh! Didn't think I could jump up to it from right below it, but apparently that is a possibility. So, you'll notice that we haven't even spent around, not even one and a half minute on this. That is how fast it is. But being fast is not a bad thing. It means that if you're running out of ideas, it's better to cut it short than trying to make an overly long track, at least in my mind. And there we have it. 1 minute and... yeah, that's pretty much straight on. 35 seconds per lap. Any unlocks? No. Oh well. Right, that is it for this video. In the next one we will tackle 4 new races. Until then, take care.